Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This time I'm gonna explain to you my sell setup idea that I share on TradingView. I shared this idea a few days ago, but I'll go over here in depth. So I'm gonna explain to you everything behind this setup. So okay, when you see the daily time frame, and in fact, you know what, let's go to the weekly time frame. Okay, great. So when you see the weekly time frame, you see, a sideways market, and this is not good. But if you go to the daily time frame, you are able to identify a structure. You have a structure here. You have the main concepts of a structure. What is it? You have a lower low, you have another lower low, and you have this higher here, and then a higher low here. So if I do, I can connect this, and this is basically a structure, all right, on the daily time frame. So we need to add more elements to it. It's not just because we have a structure, a downtrend structure, I'll go ahead and short. No, it does not work like that, but it's just one of the elements we use, or I use in my trading. It's just to find the right direction, and I trade with the trend. So structure is very important, is a core element of the strategy. Also in the daily time frame, we can read using supply and demand levels. We can see that bears are in control. Let me look for the rectangle. Okay, we have here, look at this area of demand was taken out. Look at this other area of demand here, down there, is taken out. See, why do you think it's being taken out? Because sellers are in control. And why supply areas are being respected, like this one? Because again, sellers are in control. So we need to find a sell setup, and we need to find a basically a short position if a short position comes up, and it did this time. So when we go down to the 4-hour time frame, price bounced off this supply area. I wouldn't short from here. Why? Because this is a tested area, it's a tested zone, and the more a level is touched, the weaker it becomes. It's the exact same thing with support and resistance. So I need to find, or I need to see more price action confirmation that tells me, sellers are stepping in again. So let's sell. Simple as that. So we have this area of supply on the daily time frame. Price bounced off this area of supply, and on the 4-hour time frame, we also see this trend line, this bullish trend line. See how trend lines play a key role on this strategy when you trade supply and demand, or when you use simple price action. Why? We have this bearish trend line. See, we have this bearish trend line, and trend lines will validate or invalidate your levels. This trend line is validating this level because price is far from the trend line. All levels below a bearish trend line are valid. All right. If, let's say, let me give you an example, because this is super important. We have this supply level up here, all right, and let's say price, let's just imagine price starts, reversing and breaks this trend line, breaks the trend line here. This level is automatically invalidated. That's how it works. Simple as that. But that's not the case on the daily time frame. See, this level is below the daily trend line. So when I go to the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? we have a trend line, a bullish trend line that got broken. See, it was removed. And what do we have down here? We have a demand area. What we can expect, and I see we cover a very similar scenario last time in my previous video. Price will maybe react, give you a few tips on scalping time frames, but it will end up breaking it and continue its movement to the downside. Okay, that's how it works. It's very rare. Yeah, well, at the end of the day, price will do whatever it wants. At the end of the day, price can react from here and start reversing. We don't know. We just need to adapt to the market. So in the 1 hour time frame, we keep looking for short positions. In the 1 hour time frame, what we have is this area of demand. Again, see how price is telling you with no indicator, with no system, with no order flow, with nothing. You can read just by looking at the chart who is in control, and then you can start finding the right you can start, after you identify who's in control, you can just spot the best price to short using supply and demand. On the 1 hour time frame, we can see clearly how this level of demand was taken out. Now we have two options here. We have this area of supply up here, okay, and we have this other area of supply. On my TradingView idea, I anticipated two types of movements. The first one, price drops from the swap zone, okay? Swap zone is an area of demand that is taken out, now becomes a supply level. That's what a swap zone is, because basically it changes, it switches from buyers to sellers or sellers to buyers. And the other one was a small retracement to that area of supply and then drop. Both in the same direction, all right? Both in the same direction. Price at the end of, well, price just made this this drop from this area of supply from the swap zone. That's what price did. That's basically what ended up happening, and that's basically the trading idea. I mean, that's basically the idea behind this setup and why I like to trade with the trend. It does not mean that all the zones are gonna work, of course not, but I've seen a huge difference on my trading stats. I used to trade also counter levels, but I noticed that they simply don't work, and we are here to make money, not to lose money. So that's basically why I decided a few years back just to trade with the trend. Less setup, but higher win ratio, higher income, higher profit. I mean, it was just like the best decision I ever made. And that's basically it. This was the explanation 2 days ago. I'm gonna update this. Target reach, and we're good. See, price is once again testing the daily supply zone, and based on the current price action, I'm looking for a confirmation that sellers are stepping back and taking control. The market has already taken out a demand zone and broken bullish trend line, both of which reinforce the idea that sellers are beginning to defend their positions. And that was my psychological level, 0.57900, around here, and I'm good with that. Done. Thank you very much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on X. Thanks. Bye-bye.